Welcome to the Pod Sunday service. We are the people of diversity, and we believe that there are many paths to one divinity. So what does that mean for you watching on a Sunday morning or a Sunday afternoon? We have 8 different speakers from different faith perspectives. We give them one word, a topic. We call that a series. And they come back with a 25 to 30 minute talk on that subject. We also have 10 different musicians from around the country, positive musicians, and we give them the same topic. And we invite them to come back with 2 videos to add to the service. They bring that from their own repertoire, or they create something special for the moment. And we bring it to our Philip, and Philip brings it all together and creates Sunday service. So if you want to join us in this process and become part of this community in an actual, tangible way, you can join us at www.peopleofdiversity.org. Find the donate button. It's right there in the middle of the front page. And join us weekly for a weekly tithe. You can set it up right there, or a one-time tithe. And support the process of bringing this multi-faith service every week.
Last week we had our Muslim representative, Noran Sykes. She gave a very interesting, enlightening talk on abundance. That's our topic right now. And she also shared things about Islam that I did not know, and so it was very educational as well as being very inspirational. And thank you, Noran. It was great. And her musical guests were Armand and Angelina, and they never disappoint us. They are just funny and inspiring and very, very entertaining. So it was a great Sunday. This is our last week of abundance. No more abundance after this. This is our last week of abundance, and it's going to be Reverend Sue Bailey, the founder of the pod, and her musical guest is Melanie England. Next week, we start a series that's going to take us through the traditional holiday season. We invited the speakers to pick a Sunday, if there was a particular Sunday during the next couple of months that their faith had a holiday, and to talk about that. And if their faith perspective did not have a specific holiday during this time, to talk about peace. So it should be a really interesting. It's going to take us through about the middle of January. So we start next week with Swami Dumavati, and she's going to be speaking from a Vedic yoga perspective. And her musical guest will be Keith Leon. So if you want to see past videos from these series, go to our Facebook group page, and they're all there. They're all there. And we are in the process of cataloging all of these talks and the music, and they will soon be available on YouTube. And we'll let you know when that happens. They'll be cataloged by faith perspective and also by topic. So that's really exciting. We're working. Philip is working on that and getting it put together for us. So we have, after the service, immediately following the morning service from 11:45 to 12:15, we have a live Zoom call. We're calling it a deep dive. And it's just the opportunity for you to come and ask questions. Sometimes the speakers can join us, sometimes they can't.
I heard from Sue, she's going to join us.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, awesome. So Sue Bailey is going to be there. So you can come on and we can talk about the message. We can talk about the faith perspective. Sue is New Thought, something that a lot of us are probably familiar with. But we can talk about that, or just chit chat, look at each other, have a little bit of community time. It's really fun, and we enjoyed it every week. And it's only 30 minutes. We keep it strict 30 minutes so that we don't bleed over into the afternoon and people can get on with their Sunday. So at 6 o'clock on Sunday night, we will have a rebroadcast of this service. It's on Facebook Live. So we can't actually see each other, but we can chit chat in the chat window, and I invite you to join us. We watch it every Sunday. We watch it twice, and it's really good. It's amazing how much you miss the first time around. So we invite you to do that.
And that's the one that we leave up through the week too, that,
Right.
that you can venture back to or invite other people back to come and see it.
Right, that's good. Okay, so every week we bless a state. And if you have pictures or fun facts about next week's state, send them to us at the email newwaypod@gmail.com, and we'll use them in our state blessing. Next week is Minnesota. So if you have anything you want to share about Minnesota, bring it on.
You notice how she said that with a Tennessee accent, right? It's Minnesota.
Minnesota. This week is Michigan. Did I say that right?
Perfect.
Thank you. Okay, and I have some fun facts about Michigan. Michigan has the only authentic Dutch windmill operating in the United States. Only one left, and it's there. There are 3,000 miles of freshwater shoreline in Michigan. That's because they have 11,000 inland lakes and 36,000 miles of streams. I bet the fishing's really good there. They have the world's only floating post office, and this is a boat that delivers mail to ships that are underway. And that floating post office has been operating for 125 years. Yeah, this is a cool story. Verner's Ginger Ale, Vernors, Verner's Ginger Ale, was developed in Michigan, and it was the first soda pop made in the United States. In 1862, pharmacist James Verner was experimenting with his new drink formula, and he was in the midst of developing this and had to leave to go fight in the Civil War. He was gone for 4 years. And when he came back, some of his soda that he'd stored in an oak case, he tasted it, and it had acquired this amazing ginger flavor, and the rest is history. Verner's Ginger Ale, you can still get it. The Detroit Zoo is the first zoo in America to adopt cageless open exhibits so that the animals have more room to roam, much more freedom than a typical zoo used to be. And now that's pretty much the norm for zoos, is that kind of cageless atmosphere. Michigan was the first state to guarantee every child the right to a tax-paid high school education. That's pretty cool. So we hold the people of Michigan in our hearts, knowing that they want the same things in their lives that we want in ours. They want serenity, they want peace, they want love. They want to be able to take care of their families and have good jobs, and have just a beautiful, joyful life. And we hold them in our hearts, and we send our energy to Michigan. If you happen to be in Michigan, open up, it's coming. And we say these words together. May peace prevail in Michigan. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail in me. Amen. Okay.
Sue Bailey and Melanie England. I actually met them at the Unity Church that they were the pastors of, the musical director and the pastor of, when I started in 2003. Later on, we separated off and we became People of Diversity, and Sue and Mel operated that church for the next 7 or 8 years, and were a huge part of not only my life but my children's life as they grew up, and of course that's where I met my honey as well. So. And that's again who we are today. So Mel is this incredibly powerful musician who draws people in, and Sue is this powerful teacher that takes the often complicated and makes it very simple and palatable. I know you'll enjoy them both. They are a magical pair, and we'll see you on the other side.
Good morning, lovelies. It's me. So we're talking about abundance this morning. So I know that this was not planned, but I wanted to show you guys the abundance that Beth and I have experienced since we've moved here to North Carolina, and we bought a beautiful cabin on 1.22 acres right in the mountains, and I thought maybe it'd be fun to just show you a little bit of it, since with the virus y'all haven't been able to come visit yet. So I'll take you for a very short, very fast tour, and we'll get going. Okay, so this is the front of our property, and there's our truck. Anyway, if you look around, it's just gorgeous around here. We're in the middle of fall/winter. Most of the leaves have fallen, but there's some to go. And as you can see, there's just mountains surrounding us everywhere. The winter view here is just incredible. So I'll just show you a little bit around the side here. Gets even better. Yeah, so anyway, it's this way all the way around the house, in the back and the front. It's just spectacular. So I'm going to take you inside. Front door. And there's our lovely kitchen that Beth has been remodeling since we've been here. It's fabulous. And there's the inside. There's one puppy. That's Willow. And that's Sarge. And that's Doogie. And come on around. There's the other side door. And there's Puppy. 4 of these dogs live with us. And 2 of them are with us temporarily. So you'll get to meet all but one. That's Riley. Say hi, Riley. And this is our music room. And you know we have to have one. Instruments hanging everywhere. There's a guitar there. There's my cajon and my tambourine. And anyway, it's wonderful. And Beth has her little art room in here, which is very fun. There's the other puppy. That's Sophie. And she's got everything she needs here. Nice little art room. Here's my keyboard, which you'll see me at later. And okay, and this is the back door, where you see all the other view with the puppy's yard. It's pretty awesome. So we're happy. Anyway, so you saw the house, and I will get started. Hey guys, we're back. I hope those videos didn't make you too dizzy as they made me when I looked back on them. And I hope you have recovered enough to sing. I am blessed, I am blessed, every day of my life. I am blessed, 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 when I wake up in the morning or lay my head to rest. I am blessed, I am blessed, again, I am blessed, I am blessed, I am blessed, every day of my life. I am blessed, 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 when I wake up in the morning or lay my head to rest. I am blessed, I am blessed, I am loved, I am loved, every day of my life. I am loved, 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 when I wake up in the morning or lay my head to rest. I am loved, I am loved, I am free, I am free, I am free, every day of my life. I am free, 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 when I wake up in the morning or lay my head to rest. I am free, I am free, I am blessed, I am blessed, I am blessed, every day of my life. I am blessed, 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 when I wake up in the morning or Something wonderful happening to you, happening to me right now. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Sing it. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Sing it with me. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Yeah, I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go. Oh, something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Sing it again. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go. Oh, something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Oh, this love inside, we can let it shine. Yeah, something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Do it again. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Yeah, something wonderful.
Good morning. So what if in your hands right now, you were holding $500,000 and you could get to spend it any way you want? Imagine that for a minute. I want you to just close your eyes. Feel that for a minute. Feels good, doesn't it? It's powerful. And if you really believe that you had $500,000 in your hands right now, and you could spend it any way you want, you'd probably feel like you had a lot of abundance. The truth is, the people that you think are the most successful that you've ever imagined knowing or hanging out with, or possibly even living the kind of life or part of the lifestyle that they have, that's exactly what they have had. Exactly that. Same amount of abundance, that same amount of creative potential that you still have and that you've always had, that 500,000 minutes. Because if you live 12 more months, and I'm pretty sure most of you are going to, you have 525,600 minutes that you can invest in yourself. The same amount of creative potential that everyone has and that you have had every year since you started breathing. So if you're not careful, you may, as most of us have, been trained to invest this great creative potential of those minutes in rehearsing our past, cursing our circumstances, nursing a problem, feeling a resentment, And the way the mind works, anything you hold in your mind reproduces after its kind in your circumstances. Everything is created twice, first here and then here. So ideas held in mind produce after their kind. We all know that. And I don't know if we think about that a lot when it comes to our abundance. Everything is created twice, once as an idea and then as a reality. So don't wait to discover, when you're up against some tragedy that you're facing, how this actually works, because you could discover it now. Samuel Adams once said, nothing sharpens someone's senses like knowing one's going to the gallows in the morning. We're most teachable at moments like this because we're willing to learn something new to save ourselves from more pain and more suffering. And, often once we get past that pain and suffering, we begin to realize that our thoughts that are shaped in our minds, this thought that's shaped first has an incredible amount of power, and it reflects in our experience, good or bad. And we often then become curious about, okay, how does this universe really work? Because if it works with me, good or bad, then how can I work with it to have more of the life that I love to live? So the capacity of our mind is this unlimited potential. Every one of us has been given this same gift in the service of creating beautiful dreams and great things for other people. And some of us have used those gifts to create instead great problems, great difficulties, to live in lack and limitation, when the same power is available to all of us. And some of us use it for magnificent creation, and some of us use it for more painful creation. So today, knowing that you have the same creative potential working for you that everyone else does, you can decide for yourself how abundant, by your definition, you want your life to be. Be aware that many people get stuck at this point because they think they got to get it right. They want to make sure that their dream is absolutely perfect. And I have a philosophy, just do it. Do something, and perfect will reveal itself to you. Because here's the deal. You do not get to not create, to not use that potential, those potential-filled moments. You are one with this creative process called life, and something wonderful is happening to you right now. Something wonderful is happening to you right now. It's this thing called life abundantly. Remember what Jesus said? Came so that you may have life and have it abundantly. You're breathing. You can't make yourself breathe. You can't make your heart beat a beat. Life is happening with you right now, and this life is creative. This life force is creative. Everything in this universe is in constant creation. So you don't get to not create. You don't get to sit on the sidelines. You don't get to say, I'm not going to do the creative process while I decide what is good for me. What you do is you begin now, and you shape the highest order of things in your mind and your vision that you can imagine for yourself right now. And as you go along that path of towards that, you can be redirected. You can redirect. You can discover something new, something better if you choose. See, because you decide this, you always do, and you always will, and you always have. So even if I don't want to make a mistake and I say, well, I'm just going to stay in bed today and I'm just going to put the covers over my head, you still don't get to not create, because what you created was staying in bed today with the covers over your head. We get to create in two ways. One is out of design. The other is out of default. So if you don't design the abundance that you want and design a direction for your life, your mind will go to the default patterns of your previous thinking and shape your reality based on the patterns that you've already provided to your mind. It's just like a field can grow only based on the seeds that have already been planted. So look, the law of the farm works very closely like the law of the mind. You might want a different crop, but if you don't plant a different crop, you're not going to get a different crop. If you want a pear tree, you have to plant a pear seed. And if you plant a pear seed, you're not going to get apples. If you plant thoughts that are repeated patterns of the history that you have, you're going to create that history over and over again in your reality, because this is how it works. So there's no better time than now to give yourself some room to explore abundant possibilities, to begin to consider what it is you would love to do, express in all of the basic areas of your life, because you're going to create in those basic areas of your life anyway. So sit down and think about them and imagine them and speak them and write them down and begin to have them fashion themselves in your life. So let's take a look at your physical health. Now, if you could imagine health on a spectrum, sort of a horizontal line on a page with a small vertical line in the middle, and everything on this side is sort of symptomatic. And everything on this side is in the absence of symptomatic. So what you might think to yourself is, I just need to be a little to this side, just a little to this side, not where I don't have pain and I don't have symptoms, and just that would be well-being to me. But there's another whole realm of possibility about health, because this spectrum moves all the way over here to feeling good in your own skin, to having strong self-esteem, to having quickness of mind, alertness, strength, stamina. What is your abundant dream of what you want your health and well-being to look like? Now, your dreams speak to you, your abundance speaks to you in two ways. Because here's how the mind works. You have a conscious mind and you have a subconscious mind. And it's all one mind. But if it's conscious, and it's conscious is what you're aware of, subconscious is what you're not aware of. Both of these areas of your mind are contained in superconsciousness. This mind that is everywhere present. Literally what we might call the mind of God. So your mind, your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, and is inside this superconscious mind that's the mind of God that everything in the universe has. It's infinite intelligence. And we have access to all that infinite intelligence. But most of us take a thimble into that superconscious mind, when the truth is we could take a bucket into that superconscious mind if we go into that mind and we ask the right questions and we have the right vision. And I believe that it's true that the quality of your life is often determined by the quality of the questions that you have asked yourself. Example, this is a true story. I wonder how I could get 2 weeks off from work and not lose any pay. I asked the universe that. I asked the superconscious that. And when I asked that question, how I can get 2 weeks off without losing any pay, the ideas that are coherent or resonant with that question start to come to me. But what if I ask the question, I wonder how I could take 2 weeks in the south of France and make $10,000 doing it? Pretty different question. And when I ask that question, it becomes a magnet to the ideas that are coherent and resonant with that question. You can ask a little question, you can ask a big question, you can ask any question you want. You will get the answers that are coherent and resonant with that question. Thomas Edison named his first incandescent bulb the Mazda 132 lamp after the man who taught him how to gain access to this infinite mind of God, to ask questions that were shaped by the inventions that he wanted to make. And if you read about Edison, you'll say, he will tell you that this all came from God or some super conscious mind. So he called this place the land of solution. And so he learned how to access the land of solution. He would sit for what he called his cat naps. And actually, he was performing a form of technology that we call meditation, sort of a self-inquiry, going to this land of solution, as he called it. And so he would sit in his rocking chair and rock and hold a physical rock in his hand. And then if he actually fell asleep, the rock would fall and wake him up. Because he didn't want to be asleep. He wanted to be in that meditative state in between where he had access to this infinite mind. And he learned how to ask the questions and then listen when he got the answers and follow them. It's kind of like going to the edge of the light that you see and taking that information. And the next time you go past that to the next edge of the light you can see. So you have first a realm that's your physical well-being, your health well-being. And so what is your abundant dream? See, your dreams speak to you in two ways. First, through longing, and secondly, through discontent. And the way the mind works is your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, all have access to this land of solution, or what we might call this universal unlimited God mind. It's kind of like a computer. So if you imagine that you're looking at your desktop, or what you're working on, whatever it is that you can see on your computer, that's like your conscious mind. And then the files and the hard drive and the software are the unconscious mind. They're working behind the scenes to help make what you see on the screen and what you put on the screen and what you ask for to be put on the screen, make that work. And then there's the internet, the superconscious, where you have access to knowledge and information and resources and people and connections that you can't even begin to imagine. All right there waiting for you to ask the question. So, do you long for a close, intimate, deep, powerful relationship with another person? Do you long to design, remodel, recapture, strengthen a relationship you already have? What are your longings? What do you want? What's your longing in the area of relationship? Where's your disconnect? Is there some disconnect with maybe a repeated pattern that you create every time you're in a relationship? Is there somebody that when they walk through the hallways of your mind and you bump into them that it's uncomfortable? Where's the longing? Where's the discontent? If you build a dream in the area of your relationships, what does it look like? What is the life you would love to live in relationships look like? And then you have your creative expression in the world, which we call work, or your vocation. How do you want to express in the world? Do you want to write a book? What are you not doing? You want to open a business? You want to travel and write a travel log? Whatever it is, what is it that you want? Pay attention. Honor that discontent. Honor that longing. How would you like to express in the world? Maybe you have a business you'd like to close, one you'd like to open, one you'd like to remodel, one that's making 5 million, but you wanted to make 10 million. What is it that you're longing and your discontent in this area of work? What is speaking to you? What would you love to do? Exactly the way you would love to do it, because remember, it's all about asking the right question. And when those ideas come to you, honor them, because life, you are life. And life is constantly seeking fuller and freer, expanded expression. And you'll have the entire support of the universe. You don't have to figure out all of how it's going to work out right now. In fact, Most of the time, it's not even your business to know how it's going to work out. It's more your business to know what is it that you want to work out. So you have health, you have well-being, you have relationships, you have your own creative expression, you have the freedom, the idea of how you want to move through the material realm. And, part of that is going to be financial. But you have to remember that money is only one aspect of your abundant life. And money is only good for two things. A lot of people think, probably most of us think, if I just had enough money, then blah, 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 blah. Well, let me tell you something about money. Money is energy, and money is the demonstrated relationship that we have with the infinite and the flow that we're harmonized with. The flow is not necessarily just money. It's the flow of life. How harmonized are we in our relationship with life itself? Okay, money. Only good for two things. It's good to make you comfortable enough, number one, so that you can be creative enough to deliver your gift to the world. So if you're cold and you're hungry, you can't be very creative, can you? And if you're worried about paying your bills, and you can't be very creative, can you? And that's not what the universe ever planned for us. But it is a signal. It's something to pay attention to, because what it says is you're kind of out of harmony with the universe, because the universe works with you. And the more you're in harmony with these laws of life and the application of these laws in your daily choices and living, the more life expands and expresses in greater, freer, more flowing ways. Life gets easier when you get more in harmony with it. Your life is seeking greater freedom, greater flow in your finances, greater abundance in every area of your life. And so now you begin and you start to shape that possibility. Physically, relationally, expressionally, your work, your money, how you spend it, your leisure time, what you do in your community, how you contribute, your job, opportunities. You begin to let them shape themselves in your mind with your thinking and your vision and your words and your actions. The most recent brain research tells us that part of our brain is activated when we have an idea. When we're mulling around an idea and we're thinking about it, it activates a part of the brain that sends out wavelengths. It already sends out wavelengths to match up and to bring to what it is you're thinking about. Everything is a frequency. Everything vibrates at a different rate. It's all energy. And so you're actually shaping your reality by the thoughts that you form. And then the more you hold on to them, the more focused they become and the more formed they are. It's kind of like building a house. First, you have to have the foundation. If you want to build a house, you have to get the blueprint, the picture in your mind, and you have to begin to dig out the foundation. And then the cement truck comes along down the street, pours in the cement, and that liquid cement will take the shape of whatever the foundation form is that you've planned out and laid out. And spiritual substance, this thinking substance, pours itself the same way into the form that you give it. So are you giving it a form, a blueprint in your mind of a possible life, a life that makes you happy? So to remind us, dreams speak to us in two ways. They speak to us both through our longing, and they speak to us through our discontent. So if we're longing for something, we feel this longing to experience, to express it, to live it, or we feel discontent, where there's a feeling of anxiety, we're closed in, we're hemmed in, we're feeling held back from the life that we really want. Pay attention. You pay money for things that you want. So the first stage here is just pay attention. It's free. To the longing and to the discontent. Something isn't wrong if you're feeling discontent. Something isn't wrong if you're feeling Gee, I'd like to have more. Is this all there is? So what do I do with that longing, discontent? I pay attention and I begin to add more vision and more harmony and more peace and more planning to the longing. And it takes time to explore what it is right now. So right now, take the time. What is it that's possible? And think of it this way. And we've all heard this before, but I promise you, this is the way to think of it. That if you had a magic wand that you could wave, that money was no limitation, or how much education you had, or whatever you think it is that keeps your life small. Just let that go and imagine that the magic wand can take you anywhere you want. Because right here and right now, you have 525,600 minutes in your hands. What abundance are you going to create in the next year? What are you going to do with that unlimited creative potential of abundance? You're going to create something. Remember, by design or by default. Open to the possibility. The ideas that come to you in your dreams, those are spirit guiding you, speaking to you, saying, live the life you love, because you can, because you always could. Blessings. So now I invite you to close your eyes and we meditate together for a minute. Just think about what it is I've been asking you to think about. What do you want? So you close your eyes. And breathe into that place of expansion. You can feel it. Just feel your chest. Breathe into that and feel the energy of you expanding out to meet the energy of the universe, the energy of the flow that exists. And just feel that for a minute. A few deep breaths. Connect to yourself. Connect to the world around you. And now imagine that you have that magic wand. And we know that there are things in life that are destined. Something that we set up before we ever came here. Something we must do or accomplish or be or feel or grow into or out of. But for the most part, our experience here is freely ours, free to choose, free to take those 500,000 minutes and make them into whatever we want them to be, how we want it to feel, how we want it to look, how we want our experience to expand. We have the entire universe, the energy of God mind, all of the creative potential supporting us. What do you want? Peace, freedom, love, kindness, cooperation, expression. What do you want? How do you want your body to feel? How do you want your mind to operate? What kind of relationships do you want in your life? How would you like to express your gifts? And what do you want to do that just lifts you up and gives you joy, that makes you smile, that has no other meaning than that? The universe is listening. The wavelength and frequencies of your thoughts are already traveling out to meet the energy that you would like to bring to you. It works every time. It's the way it works. You say thank you to this amazing journey that we're on, that we call life. Thank you for the magnificent way the universe supports us. And then we can change our mind, change our experience, and change our circumstances anytime we choose. So now, before we open our eyes, I'd like you to put your hands on your heart. Take a deep breath and feel your breath in your heart space. And bring to mind something that puts a smile on your face, brings joy into your life. And just breathe into that joy and that smile. And we say thank you, Spirit, for the joy and the love in our life. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Mel. You always do such a great job for us. It's just always beautiful and wonderful, and not as good as you being here, but almost. It's always just like you're right here in the living room with us. So thank you so much, Sue. I love you. You're my sister, and you always do a beautiful job. And like Scott said in the introduction, you take things that can be misconstrued and difficult, and you make them simple and make them very palatable. And we thank you very much for hanging out with us and continuing our journey together. Philip, yeah, it's thank you. He's been working really hard. We've been having some technical issues with Facebook and And he's been working really hard to get to overcome that and putting in a lot of hours for us, and we really do appreciate it. If you have any technical needs out there in the world, give Philip an email and he'll be able to help you out. And his address is out there, so write it down, use it.
Yes.
Okay, you can join us following the service for the deep dive, 11:45 to 12:15. It's a Zoom. The link is on the screen, I believe, or it's also in the event. So you can just link right in there and come and chit chat with Sue and us and whoever else shows up. It'll be a lot of fun, and we'll be done at 12:15. And tonight at 6 o'clock, we will rebroadcast this service. If you know someone in your life that would appreciate what you just saw, what you experienced, and could benefit from it, holler at them and tell them to tune in tonight at 6 o'clock. We'll be live in the chat room, and appreciate it when everybody shows up. That's fun too. So
yeah, we can shoot hearts back and forth.
We can
it's
shoot
fun.
hearts back and forth. Okay.
Once again, www.peopleofdiversity.org. That is how you can join us in supporting this community. And we'd like to just take a moment now and put some love and energy towards those gifts. So if you just center yourself, put your feet on the ground, take a nice deep breath, close your eyes. Spirit, thank you for this opportunity to give, to support, to be in circulation with this community. Thank you for this community and the opportunity to grow and expand with it. And we say amen. So, as we wrap up our service today, we want to close with an energetic circle, an energetic shout out to the people. So focus on those people in your life who may need some support, who have asked for support. And if that's you, put yourself into the circle. And let's spend some time listening to an amazing song and just all putting our hearts together and rippling out some love and some energy. And, you know, as we're all aware, there's all kinds of things going on in our country right now. And let's just throw some energy towards that, all moving to a place of peace and love and understanding. Hope to see you in just a couple of minutes in the deep dive later on this evening, or perhaps next week, maybe even all three. We'll see you soon.
Power, one power, one power, one power, one power. One power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me.